Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to Prussian Pride. I am your host, Zoolander. We step back in a very depressing time in the history of Prussia. For those of you who have been paying attention, we have lost the Hohenzollern line. We are trying desperately to bring them back. We have instead, I'm going to call him the Habsburg imbecile. He's not nearly as bad as Henry VI, for those of you who know my hatred. But he is a 0-1-2, and his heir is a 0-1-2. And we are very, very close to having a civil war fire upon us. I do not know if our allies come to our aid during a civil war. They probably do not. Luckily, we have revolt risk kind of under control in the former Teutonic territories. We have everything cored. We're not going to be spending admin points on anything else other than technologies and stability. We have no legitimacy because we changed lines. We're not going to get it back very quickly. And yeah, I have a feeling that for reasons beyond my control, I did not put my king in charge of an army. I did not put my prince in charge of an army. It was a random event that fired, and it killed my prince a week before it killed my king. And I think we may be looking at kind of at least a major setback, if not a total crushing defeat. I'm going to decline Bohemia's call to arms because we really can't afford to be sending our men abroad right now. Yep, we are up at 96% chance per month of a civil war firing. Oh man, this will be bad. This will be bad. I'm basically like, I'm not doing anything else. I'm just sitting here waiting for that modifier to fire. There's not a whole lot else to do. We could build more ships, but I really don't want to spend money while I'm losing money because I just boosted autonomy in these provinces to keep that revolt risk down. Mecklenburg and Pomerania are still fighting up here. Bohemia is dealing with some pretender rebels while Austria does something. I don't know what they're doing, but they currently love us. We're improving relations with them. Oh my god. Ah, here we go. We have been broken. Okay. Wow. Oh. What on earth? Alright, so that dismissing those two pop-ups, that was Thuringia saying, hey, screw it. Okay. We have pretender rebels in Danzig. It's interesting. Johann I Billerbeck if we can't accept their demands yet because the rebels will never negotiate. They have as large an army as ours. They have a better commander than we do. Oh no. All he has is a fire value that we don't have. Okay, let's just read this. Joachim I Hector's continuous scheming and plotting has infuriated the nobles and made Joachim I Hector some powerful enemies among the aristocracy. It won't take long before the whispers and rumors of plots to end the misrule will turn into reality, and our nation will be plunged into a drawn-out power struggle. So in addition to these pretender rebels that rose at the exact same time, we are now going to get an additional 14 rebels in Ruppen and 25% autonomy in Ruppen. So all this money we're currently losing, we're going to lose more. We're going to crush the opposition. Right? Oh, no, or did no one rise in Ruppen? And they just decided that wasn't going to happen. I guess they decided that wasn't going to happen. Our navies are still patrolling. Yes, good. That's our only source of income. I'm going to go ahead and make a run for it. We're going to try and see. Actually, will our vassals come if we stay attached to this unit? No, our vassals couldn't give less of a damn. I want to get this army before it relocates anywhere with a river crossing to access it. Because right now, if I cross... Oh, God. Oh, now my allies come. Civil war brings our nation to its knees. Political conflicts have tormented our nation for far too long. We are at an evolutionary standstill and drastic measures must be taken to reclaim our nation's prominence and put an end to the infighting before it is too late. We either say there's nothing we can do, we support one of the factions, or we start negotiations to minimize damages. I don't need admin power. I'm kind of happy to take the legitimacy, so we're going to support one of the factions. We are going to lose this battle, however. And the reason why, if we look at the statistics, is their morale is much higher. Our tactics are higher, and our discipline is better, and we have more men. But I believe what the tipping point is, they have more cavalry than we do. Oh, might our allies... Oh, our vassals made it. We might pull this off. Oh, God. Oh, man. That was close. Oh. Yeah, we lost 6,718 men. Wow. I'm frankly shocked we won that. I'm shocked that our allies made it on time. Blank is lost. Blank has fallen into the hands of the rebel forces. Oh, I believe they mean Danzig. That's a bug. The defenders in sea... What? They're preparing for a new attack as we speak. We will accept defeat for now. I don't know why that announcement, which seems to make it sound like the attackers have the advantage, it says that the defenders will get major penalties. Civil disorder transfer into chaos. Minor political conflicts have tormented our nation for some time now. We are at an evolutionary standstill and blah, 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 blah. Either we stop this at any cost, lose prestige, lose money, gain legitimacy, or we say there's nothing we can do and we get more rebels. Screw it. I can make the money back. I cannot make his legitimacy rise any faster, and that's what we need. Because currently our king is simply an idiot. Though we do have an heir. Is it possible... How old is our heir? He's only 7, so that'd be an 11-year regency council if I decided to get really gutsy and make the king our general and hope to get him killed. Alright, so we can't do that. Maybe. Ish. Will this war end if we just took back... Is there anything we can do? Alright, we've taken back Danzig. Yay! Now we go back to Brandenburg and sit there and wait for what I'm sure is the next stage of the Civil War. We're losing so much money per month. Because we're also over our force limit. How far are we? Oh! New factional powers. Yeah, go ahead and recall that diplomat. Not that he's going to come home to much. He's going to come home and just be like, what the hell did you guys do? We're going to support one side. In the midst of ongoing chaos, small but powerful factions have emerged, and each one of them is trying to gain the upper hand by swaying important nobles from our court to side with them and their cause. We're going to support one side because the rebels will rise right on top of us, so we'll get a defender bonus, and there are rivers on either side, so that will help. Maybe, I don't know. But more importantly, we get 5 legitimacy. And worst case scenario is we lose, and we get a new king, and frankly, I'd be fine with that happening. Bam, more pretender rebels gone. Oh, it's just ugly. Army deserters, oh great. Lose money and gain legitimacy? Fine. We're bleeding cash. I think this is a scenario where we're going to have to take out loans. I want to merge these units. Basically now I'm trying to stop the bleeding. How far? I'm only 1 over my force limit, so I'm going to take one of my infantry, the injured infantry, and get rid of them. Because that still keeps an 8-4-4 balance. My military is still in pretty decent shape, and we're no longer reinforcing, which kind of hits 2 birds with 1 stone on the military spending front. We can't really afford all of these guys. As a matter of fact, I don't think we can afford either of them. Yeah, we have to fire both of them. That's going to be painful. Yeah, we're still barely making any money. Barely, barely, barely. Matter of fact, it still says we're losing money. I'm not sure this screen knows jack. I'm not sure balance actually knows what it's talking about. Saint performs miracle. Yes, we get reform desire and a stability. Yes, please. Thank you. So the Civil War, so here's the end condition. That's what I was looking for. The Civil War will not stop until we hit 90% or 90 legitimacy. So basically, I'm going to do everything I can to just kind of knuckle down and push through this. We're going to improve relations with Mecklenburg now. Part of the reason I'm improving relations with these 1 province miners around me is I'm looking to people I can annex. So I'm looking to try and diplo annex Lüneburg and Mecklenburg after we get rid of Magdeburg and Anhalt. I'm going to, just keep improving relations with these guys also, I guess, because, please, von Hohenzollerns, come back. Come back to my throne. Oh, man. Yeah, so now this is just going to keep creeping up, and we kind of have to rely on mostly the events to help us get through this. I probably shouldn't have fired my Diplo Rep guy, because Diplo Rep was helping this legitimacy problem go away faster. Prestige is only helping a little bit now, because we've lost most of it due to events. Favored Fraction threatens to splinter. It has come to our attention that an individual of unknown origin has managed to sway the opinions of the leaders of our favored faction. As a consequence, we are now facing 2 new groups thirsting for individual power instead of 1. We either gain 10 legitimacy by letting them splinter, and we gain 50% autonomy in Potsdam, which already has 20. Oh, it has none. Which has the heightened autonomy? Is it Danzig? Oh my god, Danzig's at 98% autonomy. That's why I'm losing so much money. I'm going to let them splinter. Screw it. Again, we're knuckling down. We're going through the Civil War as quickly as possible. Because the sooner we get through this, it's kind of like taking a very bitter pill. The sooner we get through this, the sooner we'll be well. These Bohemian noble rebels are still rampaging across Bohemia. That's part of the reason I wanted to do something like that. But with Bohemia, they have a harder decision to make because look at their country. It's really good to defend it because most of it is woods and hills and river crossings into almost every province. But it makes it hard for them to decide, you know, when do I attack rebels? When do I not attack rebels? Oh, here we go. Yeah, go ahead and recall from Ansbach. Political conflicts have tormented our nation for far too long. Evolutionary standstill, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to lose another 100 admin power and gain another 10 legitimacy. We're getting closer. We are 30 points, roughly, 20 points away, 21 points from ending this conflict. Oh, man. But I wonder then if as soon as we end it, it will just start counting down again. Because... Oh, no, it probably won't because we don't have overextension. But that's a good thing to know for the future when we take provinces that our leader is a moron. Who are our relationships with? I'm going to keep the timer going. Our relationships currently... I'm just trying to do a little bit of housekeeping abroad while we deal with the situations at home. Lithuania is improving our relations. Brandenburg is improving relations... Or France... I'm sorry. France is improving relations with us. That's good. I want them to be as friendly as possible. They've already allied us, right? But they're a defensive ally. Yeah. And the big stickler is we're allied to a rival because we're allied to Austria. And Austria is not going to like that we're allied to France, so they're both defensive against us. So that's fine. I mostly want them as defensive allies because I won't be starting a whole lot of wars with people who are much, much stronger than me. Oh, here we go. Faction requires aid. Do I give most of my money and gain 5 legitimacy? I think yes. This is going to be a situation where I'm fine taking out loans. I'll do anything I need to do to get through this war. Fair dealing. Oh, an empire with colonies and vassals resembles a rowdy family, and it takes a firm but fair hand to keep everything in line. Recent policies have won the admiration of our subject nations and bring all of us closer together. Anhalt and Magdeburg plus 50. I'd seen that image before and kind of immediately associated it with the Civil War and was just kind of like, oh shit. We are now losing 20% of our treasury every month. I mean, I just don't know what to do any further. I don't want to turn down... We're going to have to take out loans. I mean, we can do that. That'll slow it down a little bit. We'll have to take out loans. I can turn down fleet maintenance maybe, but that won't do enough. Yeah, it's just going to have to be... you know, we'll take more ideas. That'll help with our hemorrhaging Diplo points problem. No, Utrecht. You really don't want to come through my territory at the moment, Utrecht. Really, you don't. Other things we can check out on, actually, while we're just sitting here losing money waiting for our legitimacy to go up, is what's the reform desire? 69%, so we're actually pretty close to having, or at least theoretically, on paper, we are pretty close to having the Protestant Reformation fire, which is a good, 70%. Ah, here we go. Yep, we're going to spend money and prestige. We will stop this at any cost. So we're going to need, oh man, we have negative prestige. I'll give the admin power. We'll take out a loan. We'll take out multiple loans, probably. Knowing this point in the game, will probably still be multiple loans. Oh no, just one. One loan. Great. Great. Awesome. Oh, awesome. See, this is what happens when Hohenzollern dies. Literally, none of this would have happened, and we would be moving on to bigger and better things if we had not had the Hohenzollern line die. And that was, and I think it's normally a type of thing where I would have, you know, raged and started over, maybe not started over, but gone back to the last save. But I decided because I was recording, I wasn't going to do that. I was going to muscle through the video, show you guys how tough I was. And then the video got lost in its entirety. And I decided, oh, hey, the video got lost. Great. That means I can just, oh, right, autosaves. Because in Iron Man, the autosaves overwrite the manual saves, and they aren't separated out anymore. Because that would, you know, that wouldn't make sense to have Iron Man be circumvented by just a manual save overwriting an autosave. Favored fraction threatens to splinter. Another 50% autonomy in Potsdam. Potsdam is now wholly autonomous. So now we've lost most of our base tax. This is just... oof. I have never gone through one of these before. But hey, we have a legitimacy of 90. End of the Civil War. 3 stability and 10 legitimacy. Oh, yes. Okay, so what that means now is we're going to let that crank up. We are going to... you know what I'm going to do? Force lower. Look at that. That unrest is still at 0. Look at this. Still at 0. Where else can I lower autonomy? Give it back. I want my base tax back, damn it. Go. I can't forcibly lower it because it was manually raised. So these two will have to just wait. But I can forcibly lower the others, which helps a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Christ, we're still... how far over my... I'm now 3 over my force limit. Holy jeez. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Select that unit. Disband it. Hey, so it's like we never invaded Marienburg and Ostpreußen. That's how bad our force limit has fallen. But what I'm now going to do is, because I hopefully have positive relations with both of these guys, guess what? We have killed enough time that I can now annex them simultaneously. Yeah, members of the HRE will be kind of pissy with me. I don't care. I need those Diplo slots back. I do not care. And yeah, I know I'm taking Diplo points when I don't have many Diplo points, and that Civil War was incredibly, incredibly costly, but I think we went through it in a pretty efficient manner. I'm proud of how I handled it. I didn't see a way to avoid it. I don't feel like any of that was my fault, because a lot of it was just, you know, luck of the draw. And I know that there's nothing to substantiate those claims, but I promise I did nothing to influence the death of my king or my prince. They weren't great, but I didn't wish either of them dead. Because at the end of the day, as I explained last video, I kind of enjoy the roleplay aspect of games like this. So to lose the family that historically ruled this area was really kind of a blow. But yeah, so now we're kind of expanding more into central Germany now that we've kind of handled that situation. We should keep staying ahead on military tech. Yep, we should be fine. I do take military techs ahead of time. I tend not to take most techs ahead of time, and if I have done so in my other videos, that's been me being absent-minded and just clicking buttons as I narrate. The only one where I will pay more points to stay ahead of time is my military tech. I will definitely stay ahead of that as much as I possibly can. Let's actually take a look at the tech map. How far? Where do we stand? Pretty far behind the rest of the empire, actually. But I think a lot of that is our Diplo power. So if we look, for example, at Bohemia, they tend to have pretty good rulers. Their tech level is, yeah, 677. We're at 637. So that's only because we've been focusing on Diplo ideas. Our royal marriage with Bohemia has ended, which means we have now broken off all relations with Bohemia. We do not have relations with Bohemia. What is our current mission? Cancel that mission. We'll get another mission. Basically a reset. We have to now reset. I'm also hereby pretending that Joachim Hector von Habsburg is in fact a Hohenzollern, mostly because the Hohenzollerns actually do tend to have a lot of Joachim Hectors, at least in this game. I think, isn't Ansbach's either their heir? Yeah, Joachim Ernst, Siegmund the First, like they tend to have a lot of similar names. I'll justify this any way I have to, damn it. And bam, Magdeburg is done, and Anhalt is done. How far over my force limit am I? 4. Yeah, sounds about right. Now, could I get either of these guys 100 relations? No, both of them are at -50 right now. Look at that, though. Yay, Brandenburg. Just that big, long, snaky thing. But-um-tum. All right, Sweden is at war. Sweden still doesn't mind us. The only thing that is really, you know, upsetting them is A, we took Hinterpommern, and B, that they rivaled us. I still think Sweden and us could be really good allies. France doesn't really need that many relations improved. Austria could use some, but they're only down because we annexed members of the Holy Roman Empire. Oh, crap. Poor Savoy. Savoy is just getting ripped apart right now. Who are actually, who are France's allies? Who are you allied to? Castile and Luxembourg. Sure, we can improve relations with Castile. It can't hurt. So what? Now that I'm actually starting to think about it, What dynasties are still intact? So the de Trastamara is still intact over here. They do have the personal union over Aragon, so I must have missed the uniting our dynasties thing. So they have the same queen. De Avis is still intact in Portugal. De Valois isn't going anywhere. The Lancasters still rule. Oh my god, Richard Lancaster is a monster. Why can't I get these rulers? He must have had... I don't know. I can't justify it. I don't know the answer. I don't know what dynasty most often takes control. Okay, they have a regency council, but the Rurikovich, really? That's his name? I'm sorry to offend anyone in Russia, but really? Like, really? Okay, I'm gonna move on. Hungary has the Habsburgs. Damn it. Poland and Lithuania still share the Agilians. Bavaria should have the Wittelsbachs. Yep. Austria definitely has the Habsburgs. Yeah, I have never seen the Austrians lose the Habsburgs. Saxony should still have the... oh! Really? Really? That's an interesting name. I've never seen that. For those of you who don't speak German, that literally means King Albrecht the Beloved of von Wetten, and I've never seen like a moniker like that. And if my translation is wrong, that's what I think it means. If my translation is wrong, it's been a while since I've actually had to like translate in German, so please feel free to. Thuringia has been fabricating a claim on us. Bastards. Assholes, all of you. Do we have another loan? We have a second loan we have to pay off, but we paid off one of our loans. So that's helping a little bit. Who else has really famous dynasties that I want to pay attention to? I don't think anyone that I know of. Oh, does Denmark should still have the Wittelsbachs, right? Denmark von Wittelsbach, yeah. And these guys typically have the Stuarts, don't they? Yeah, James III Stuart. Look at that. Look at that random knowledge I have. And then Zipo de Brod, they typically have that. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't speak Czech. Wish I spoke Czech. Don't speak Czech. Lüneburg's allies are Hesse, Münster, and the Hansa. But we have a mission to vassalize Lüneburg. Would they take vassalization? They would accept it if we could get our relations high enough. Interesting. And we can't get our relations high enough because we're almost maxed out. And between border friction and our annexation of another member of the Holy Roman Empire, they're just not going to go for it. But we do have, do we not have an open relationship slot now? We should have an open slot. And, yeah. We do have an open relationship slot. We're allied to Ansbach, we're allied to Austria, we're allied to France. So let's think about this. An alliance is worth, what, 50 points? I think an alliance is 50 points. That gets us to 114. A royal marriage is, actually, let's look. Alliance is plus 50. Royal marriage is plus 25. So, if we added 75 points to this, that'd be 114 plus another 25 is 130. Yeah, 139. Nowhere close. Even with a guarantee. So even if we could guarantee them, a loan is coming due. Yeah, I know a loan is coming due. If we guaranteed them, that'd get us to 149. They're already transferring trade power, so we can't use that. If we sent them a gift, that would get us to 170 something. We would be just short. Mecklenburg, however, is not transferring trade power. They are at 65. If we pulled out all the stops, we could get them as a vassal. But because Lüneburg is transferring trade power, we can't, unless they break some sort of treaty. Interesting. Things to think about. The more you know. Pomerania is incredibly threatened. They're wanting our provinces less and less, though. Poland is wanting our provinces more and more. But unfortunately for them, our military wasn't actually as badly destroyed in that war as I feared it would have been. I'm actually quite impressed with how our military handled that war. So good work, chaps. Good work. Everyone, smoke if you got them. Holy crap. Sweden is just going to town on Denmark right now. And Norway. Oh my god, Sweden. Yes, repay all loans. There we go. Our loans are now gone. We no longer have loans. So we're starting to normalize a little bit more. Is France? France isn't at war with Austria, are they? No, they're in two separate wars, but they were just fighting in Hungary. Actually. I'm going to start fabricating claims on... Why can we not fabricate on Niederlausitz? Do we already have a claim? We already have a claim. Perfect. Let's just fabricate a claim on Breslau then. Screw them. Screw you guys. We no longer have a claim on Varmia, so we should think about that. Do we want diplomatic insult casus belli on Lüneburg? I don't think so, but we... prestige is easy to come by. We're already at 0. It doesn't really matter. Diplo relations +1. So now we can have more people that we're friends with. Muscovy offers us an alliance. Yes. I will take that Muscovite alliance, thank you. Which means, yeah, that Sweden will be unhappy with that outcome because, you know... Holstein wants a royal marriage. Interesting. Holstein, to whom are you allied? Sweden and Burgundy. Holstein's going to get dragged into a lot of wars I don't want to get dragged into, so I'm going to decline that. Castile, how are you feeling after I improve relations with you? Still neutral, willing to trust us somewhat, not wild. There we go. Muscovy sent their own. So Savoy is completely occupied. Bohemia was completely occupied, but they pieced out. What did they piece out for? Bohemia, okay, 10% in ducats. Wow, Bohemia got off light. What is this war even over? Can we see what are you fighting for? Attacker against Savoy in the conquest of Cuneo. Yeah, so that's one thing I found in my couple test games that I played as Savoy, is how do you keep France from either getting or in the first place desiring Cuneo? And it really is just a gamble as to what sorts of missions they take. All right. Military tech 8. Good. We're almost done with our influence ideas. Oh, man. This is all just... All of this. Our cause is just. Aggressive expansion impact minus 20% with the tagline, "Come here, my pretties." Oh, dear. Now, this is interesting. What is Bohemia's... So, who are Bohemia's allies? First question. Alsace, Brunswick, and Saxony. Brunswick is not in a war. Saxony is in a war against Castile and France and Aragon. I'm going to take the mission to conquer Silesia, because that gives us a claim on Breslau, which means we can withdraw this guy. Declare war. Who would come in? Ansbach. Really? Saxony wouldn't. Brunswick and Alsace would come in on their side. And we would have to fight against Bohemia on our own. Bohemia, armies, alphabetical order. Manpower, 23,000, but they only have 2 at the moment. I'm willing to roll these dice. I'm going to throw these bones. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to just do it. Yeah, Muscovy won't come. Austria is close to coming. France has a truce. They're not going to come. Alsace is very close to not wanting to be in this. So you know what? Screw it. We're going to war. My first objective is going to be, you know, it may be an ill-advised war, but screw it. My country needs a war right now. We need a good old-fashioned stomp around. Ansbach did come, so there they go. And they've combined with our units because they are good people. Stack wipe on... I'm just kind of draining Bohemia's manpower reserves at the moment. We took a crossing penalty, but we're fighting a smaller army. Good. And now I'm just gonna, leave that stack sieging there and kind of stomp around and make sure that Bohemia can't rebuild its army. Because if Bohemia rebuilds its army, that's the bigger problem. So I may detach a siege there. Recall that diplomat. And just take the bigger stack and keep wandering around and seeing where they're going to try and build their guys. Right now they're building them in Moravia because that's kind of safe. My timer just went off. I'm going to make this a little bit longer of a video just because I feel like you guys have kind of been getting a little tiny bit screwed in terms of what's been happening with some of my films. So basically the objective of this war, we're going to finish our mission to conquer Breslau because, we've been told that we should do that, A, by the missions, and B, by people who've been watching the videos, and I appreciate your guys' feedback, and that's awesome. And the second objective is we're going to take Niederlausitz because it's Saxon culture, and frankly, if the Prussians can't protect the Saxon people, who can? Who can protect the Saxon people? And it's also a great opportunity to kind of cow the... let's just crush Brunswick while we're here. 2, 1. There they go. Chase them into their own territory and stack wipe them. Oh, bastards, they're quick. And they recovered their morale, but that shouldn't matter. Yeah, stack wipe. Perfect. Who wants military access through me? Friesland. No, decline. Alsace is coming to try to help. We've almost sieged their capital, so they're a little bit wary at this point. Pause that real quick and try and divert these units to immediately go into Ratibor. Now we've split their army, so now neither stack could have even challenged my stack sieging Breslau. Stack wipe on Bohemia. Alsace just now has absolutely no idea what to do. Their original intention in coming here was to aid the Bohemian army, but now the Bohemian army is just nothing. They're literally just nothing. These battles are a little bit more hard fought than I'd hoped. Just gonna keep stack wiping as many frickin' Bohemian armies as we can. Bohemia, all I want is Breslau, and I'm gonna want Niederlausitz as well as soon as that siege is done. Because I also want to take advantage of, currently we have a modifier where our aggressive expansion is minus 20%. And we have claims on these two provinces which help. Alsace now just had war declared on them. By who? Austria. We just got a claim on Poland. Excellent. We're going to get another claim on Poland in Varmia because we're going to want that territory joined together. For those of you who are sitting here going like, why on earth would you have declared this war? This is a totally reckless war given your position. I know. I am well aware of exactly how reckless this war was. And you know what? Frankly, don't give a damn. Frankly, my dear, I just needed a good old war. We're very close to winning in Niederlausitz, and I think once we win the siege of Niederlausitz, that should be the end of the war. Yeah, that should be about it. I'm just going to park my guys in, like, Oberlausitz and just have them sit there and continue the siege. Because right now, I'm just eating Bohemia's manpower. If we look again, Bohemia, manpower. Really, they're recovering it. So, oh, right, Holy Roman Emperor. They're recovering it really, really quickly. But still, like, they can't rally an army together, so they're just throwing away a war score trying to rally their forces together. All the time, I've had a separate force sieging up provinces that I actually want. And we're going to do my best to keep my admin power high so that I can core these two provinces as quickly as possible. Saxony has entered an alliance with Bohemia. I thought they were already in an alliance, so that's not shocking, but a little bit weird. But hey, just another Bohemian army to the slaughter. Look at that. And we're building our prestige back, so we're all good. Everyone is allying Bohemia while we're in the midst of this war, and it's really not going to do them any good. We want these two. And all your money. And we want you to... No, we don't want them to revoke an imperial reform. We do want war reparations. How's that sound? How about them apples? 96 admin power, 64 admin power. We accomplished our mission, which got us an additional 5 prestige, and that's about it. We're not going to take a new mission yet. We're going to re-rally our men together and then see where we stand. All right. All right, guys, this is where I am going to put a cut in this video. We have made it through the Civil War, and in true Prussian style, I decided we weren't going to sit down and wait and try and recover and take a deep breath and all that pansy nonsense. No, we went right to war as soon as we came out of the Civil War, and not only to war, we went to war with the Holy Roman Emperor himself. So, you know, Prussia, Prussian pride. We will never lose our pride, even if we have a damn dirty Habsburg on the throne. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.